Hey guys, video that I'm doing today is basically what the title says, whatever that's going to be. I have no idea. Um, but it is about me having a hysterectomy, and I'll probably be vlogging here pretty often about my progress, and now all I have is time on my hands. I went in for my surgery last Wednesday, so today's Thursday. It's been an entire week, and I went to have a hysterectomy. Now, backstory on that, I had been told like years ago that I needed to have one done when it was about the size of a golf ball, maybe a little less smaller than that. I didn't want to do it then. Last year, it was kind of pressing me about it, having it done, because my uterus was very large. I've done a video before about this on my other channel. I looked like I was probably about 6 months pregnant. So the uterus was large. The one particular fibroid was large. And I had other fibroids as well. So I kind of teeter-tottered with the surgery. I would want to do it, then I would change my mind. And then I would talk to my allergy doctor and stuff because I am asthmatic. And so they were recommending that I did not have the surgery because my asthma was not controlled. Okay? So, with that being said, there was a little bit of relief for me, having that excuse not to get the surgery done. Yes, that's buying me time. That's kind of the way I was thinking. Yes, it's buying me time. Over the past, I would say, month or so, I could tell that it had gotten a little larger. Excuse me. Because I feel it. Excuse me. I could feel it, I guess, moving underneath my rib cage. Now, I've been sick and stuff, my asthma, my allergies flare up, then my asthma, tends to follow right behind it. So I stay going back and forth to the ER or urgent care or whatever. So they usually take x-rays, MRIs, whatever, They said from the last time that I had been checked that the fibroid had gotten larger. Go figure. But this time it's about the size of a cantaloupe. So I'm like, shit. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, shit. I'm gonna have to actually break down and get this shit done, The past month or so, it's basically been dragging me down. I move slow. I work slow. I had to take frequent breaks while working. The pain and discomfort was just ridiculous. I was fatigued, So I was just like, okay, let me just go ahead and do it. Anything is better than feeling like this, right? Now, I don't know if I want to get into the other things and stuff because another reason why I hesitated in having the surgery done that's for a later time. But I do have other reasons why. I didn't want to have it done because I was quite afraid I wasn't going to make it if I had the surgery. Okay. So I knew if I had the surgery, I was basically going to die during the procedure. Now, I know some of you are probably saying, that's not the case for, yes, okay, but again, like I said, there is a little more to the story about me avoiding the surgery than, the average Joe's story and stuff like that. I may get into it later on, depending on how comfortable I am with discussing that. But that was another reason. So I was doing what I thought was in my best interest, life-wise, not to get the surgery. But it had gotten to the point where I couldn't bear it anymore. So I started working with a different allergy doctor and pulmonary doctor and stuff like that in a different city because I felt like I wasn't getting quality care in my area. So I went out a little further. So I met up with an allergy doctor and seems very knowledgeable, very concerned about my condition, which made me feel very comfortable. He says we're gonna work on some things because from what he could see, it didn't look like my I'm sorry if I'm stumbling here, but I've been through it quite a bit, so my mind is a little foggy. But he said it from what things looked like, it didn't seem like it was all asthma. It was more of a throat thing. So we tried some different medications, which was asthma medicine. Pepsi, which is basically like an anti-acid medicine, because he asked me that I noticed if I had issues with acid reflux. I guess I don't pay enough attention to myself. I said, well, no, I don't really think so. Occasionally, yeah, I eat certain spaghetti sauce that, I'll get like acid reflux. Yeah. So he was saying that he think there's more like this is like acids and things like that were coming up, was irritating my throat, and basically, I guess making it close up and kind of mimicking basically an asthma flare-up, right? So I was taking the medicine and he recommended that I see a speech therapist, which was cool. I finally got around because I procrastinated with that. I'm not even going to lie. I procrastinated with it, so I finally got around to seeing a speech therapist, excuse me. And she recommended that I do some exercises and with my throat. She said that it helps a lot of people a whole lot to do the exercises that way. It's more of a preventative thing. So when you feel it coming on, there's certain things you could do so that your throat isn't closing up, so on and such. All right. So everybody got on the same page. It's like, okay, well, now that we understand that this is not really an asthma situation and it's more of a throat thing, we think it'd be fine for you to have the surgery. Great. So I scheduled an appointment with the doctor, a lady doctor. We basically make a plan, make a date for the surgery to be done. So I went and seen her last month, which will be November. I don't remember exactly the date or whatever, but I wanted it done sooner because, like I said, I was in a whole lot of discomfort and pain and stuff like that. So I wanted it done ASAP. Okay. All right. So she said the soonest that we could schedule an appointment for surgery would be December the 8th, which was basically last week. Okay. So day before surgery, I would think that I would be feeling a little anxious and, I have issues with anxiety, but, I thought I was going to have a problem with that, but no. I just felt kind of numb, I think, at that time. Numb, and the fact that I just wanted to get it over. I didn't really have any emotions at the time, the day before surgery. I think I was just eager to get it done. So my scheduled registration time was 6:30. I go in at 6:30, register to go in, because I didn't see anesthesia doctor prior to, so I basically see them the same day. So once I got registered in and they called me back, and I got undressed and all that good stuff, and anesthesia doctor came in, and basically all the doctors came in that was going to be doing the procedure. So the anesthesia doctor explained pretty much what his role was going to be, and making sure that I stayed medicated, and if there was any dangers, what actions he would take, in case there was any dangers with my asthma and stuff like that. So I felt comfortable. I felt fine. Still no anxiety, I wasn't scared and stuff. So then the surgeons come in, and they told me that we would get started around about 8:30. Okay, cool. 8:30 in the morning. Okay. So, they said the procedure would take probably about 3 or 4 hours or whatever. They had already explained to me in the past, how they would, because I would have to have an incision basically from underneath here all the way down to, my the bottom of my stomach, and actually the top of my vagina. So, because they said the uterus is very large, so we can't make and we can't do an incision like we would do with someone else who didn't have a large uterus. Okay. I wasn't comfortable with that. In the past, I was not comfortable with that, but at this point, I'm desperate. I don't give a shit. Cut me however you need to cut me to get this shit out so that I can go back to normal living, in comfort and not miss work and stuff like that. Anyway, so moving forward, I get taken in. They wheel me in the room, surgical room. There's nothing unusual about the surgical room or whatever, anything fancy or whatever, not that anyone cares about that, but so they put me on from the little, I guess, the bed onto the little gurney thing, the surgical table. They hook up the IVs and all of that good stuff. And then the anesthesia doctor gave me oxygen. And I think the medicine was given to me through my IV because I fell asleep and I don't remember pretty much anything else after that. Okay, so I wake up. Things are kind of foggy and stuff. I wake up and, I'm like, oh, wow, I made it. I was like, wow, I made it. Okay. Plus, so I'm there, I'm not in too much pain and whatever, because they're, making sure that I stay comfortable as possible, not being in too much pain or whatever. So I'm like, all right, cool. I did great. So, let me see if because like I said, things are, a little foggy and stuff. And, I remember, eating later, and I was fine. I ate. I felt good. My morale was great. So it's just like, I think I was just so fucking relieved to have that thing out. I felt hollow on the inside and shit. It felt my stomach. It felt weird, but at the same time, even though it felt weird, I was just so relieved not to be carrying that damn thing anymore. You know. I think maybe the next day I started feeling bad. Then, of course, over shift changes, you have different nurses and stuff like that. Of course, when you have a hysterectomy, they want to make sure that your pain is controlled. Excuse me. You're passing gas and you're able to go poop. So, I was eating okay. I was eating fine. I was ordering food and stuff like that, and I was eating and drinking. I hadn't passed gas and stuff like that and stuff. Everybody's different in their progress with this, I guess. I just kind of blew it off slow. I'll get there when I get there. You know what I mean? So day one, they had already told me I was going to be in the hospital for a few days. So 3 days tops. Great. No problem. I'll be out of here in a breeze. So first day, no gas passing. I didn't poop, none of that. But I started feeling bad. So we get a nurse that comes on the night shift, and she's like, "Oh, I got 3 patients that haven't pooped yet." And she's like, "And you're one of my patients?" I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Okay, well," she decides I guess she wanted to give everybody laxatives. And I think I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the, because they've been giving me stool softeners and stuff like that. So when I do go, that, it's not going to be a difficult, painful thing, whatever. But I'm kind of against stool softeners because I understand the stool softeners will also, too much consumption of stool softeners will constipate you as well. So, I was a little skeptical of the stool softeners, but I complied or whatever. So the girl comes in, she gives me the stuff in this cup or whatever, tells me to drink it, but I noticed she put a whole packet of the stuff in there. So I'm like, okay. She was like, "Oh, my patients, I have 3 patients that haven't pooped." So I guess she just decided, this fucking bitch just decided that everybody was gonna shit that night, right? So I get the fucking shit and I drink it or whatever. I'm not trying to be difficult in the hospital. I want to get this shit over with and back home and get my recovery on, progress going. I drink the shit. I fall asleep. I wake up in pain. My stomach is fucking on fire. My stomach is on fire. It's doing some shit. I don't know what the fuck was going on with my stomach. I told my ex, because my ex was there with me throughout the whole process. I told him, I was like, "I need a doctor. I need a doctor. I need somebody to come here and stuff. My stomach is on fire right now." and I'm having all kind of pains in my stomach, you know. And then I'm laying there. While I'm laying there, I'm hearing another patient next to me, this here, that, I don't know which way. I'm hearing them gagging and throwing up. Now, my issue with that bullshit is that, you know, depending on the person, like I said, for me, because I had such a large uterus, I have a large incision in my abdomen, okay? Not to mention, I have some other stuff going on. We'll get to that later. So, you know, put that type of pressure on your stomach is not a fucking option. I'm sorry to be with my profanity, but just me thinking back on this shit is like pissing me off. You know, so it's just like, why would you come in there and you just decide at night, it's probably what, like 9 o'clock at night, you decide that everybody needs to go shit, you know? So I'm gonna call a doctor. By this time, I'm feeling extremely sick, you know? I'm feeling extremely sick. The burning and shit went away, but I don't know. It's just I was feeling extremely sick, and then I'm laying there, and I literally see like past things flashing and stuff, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, oh my god! It's like I'm like fucking dying here. I'm like, and I tell the other nurses, they just came in. I guess they took over or whatever shit, because the other girl didn't come back. You know, they're sitting here lollygagging around. My ex is telling them she needs a doctor. She's like, okay, well, I'm texting him right now and stuff. See, he respond. Okay, well, you need him to get him the fuck up here, like, ASAP. You bitches up here just doing whatever. You know, you need to get somebody up here ASAP. And I'm like, by this time, I'm feeling like, just, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm dying. I'm dying. I need some help. You know? So they take me, and they, I think they did, what do they call that? An MRI on my stomach and shit. And, they found out that I had fluid in my stomach. Now, after the surgery was done, you know, I seen the doctors and everything. My doctor, the main surgeon, told me, he said I had to cut a hole into your ureter. Me being not so educated in the situation, I was just like, oh, okay. So I figure, you know, okay, maybe, you know, he did what he needed to do to try to take it out, because I know it was like taking up a lot of space. There were some days I could feel it even sitting on my lungs. So I figured, okay, now so I know it's probably attached to stuff. You know, it's probably attached to either my fucking lungs or my bladder, because there would be a lot of times I would feel pressure on my bladder. Ain't no telling. So, you know, he said he had to cut a hole into my ureter. So that meant my ureter and shit was leaking fluid on the inside. So they basically had to give me an emergency surgery to put some tubes. It started off tubes on the right side here to no, I take that back. They put a dialysis tube in my groin. They either told me I was gonna have to have it put in my neck or my groin. And I was like, oh my god, my neck, no. Can we do my groin? It was like, well, blah blah blah, this and that. Most likely you have to have it put in your neck. I was like, as if things isn't, as if it can't go any more south. Okay, now I gotta have a tube in my fucking neck. Okay, so moving forward, I guess they discussed it and they decided that they could do it in my groin. So I had a dialysis tube put in my groin or whatever. I wasn't put to sleep. They just numbed me up or whatever and then did the procedure. So it's like soon as they put the tubing in and put the bag on, it was immediate drainage in the bag. So the nurse is like, look, see, she's like, it's draining already. So I'm like, okay, great. I'm going to make it. Then they're checking me out or whatever. I'm still having an issue. So I end up getting some tubes in the right side of my kidneys, right? So I got a drainage tube there. Then we find out the next day. So, you know, like every damn day I was having a surgery or something. So they put one on my left side. That was my last surgery I had. And then, what's today? Thursday? So while I'm going through all of this, and I'm talking to these doctors, I've talked to the other team of doctors that were there, nobody's saying anything, right? Nobody's saying nothing. They're just keeping everything to themselves and shit. But the lung doctor helped me out as much as he could, and he went as far as he could, because I guess, you know, he's not up there in rank, so, you know, he has, you know, people that he has to take orders from, but he helped me as much as he could, because I was literally begging. I was like, can you please help me out? I don't want to fucking die, you know? Can you please help me? So I do what I can. I have other people I have to discuss things with. I'm like, I don't care what you have to do. Just please help me, you know? So this other doctor comes in. He's like, well, I'm filling in for Dr. Blah Blah because he's out of town. Really? That's not even the worst news. So then when this bastard comes back, and I say, yeah, I say bastard. When he comes back, Tuesday morning, he comes in and he tells me, he's like, I want to just let you know, I'm sorry. I messed up. You know, I cut into your ureter. That's why you're having this fluid leaking into your stomach and da. I'm really sorry. Sorry? So I tell the guy, I go, this wasn't in my fucking plans, dude. I gotta go back to work. So how am I gonna go back to work? Because from what I was told, I'm gonna have these fucking tubes for at least a couple of months. I can't have the surgery again for at least a couple of months. I'm scheduled to go back to work next month. Right? They're telling me I'm not going to be able to have the surgery probably until like February sometime. Like I'm a whole fucking mess right now. I had a tube over here, drainage tube on this side, right? And they took out the dialysis tube because they figured I just needed it for that one day, you know, to drain out as much fluid from my stomach as they could. And then they was gonna do they did the other shit by putting these tubes and shit through my kidneys to basically keep the flow out so that I wouldn't have to continue to keep doing the dialysis and stuff like that. So, and that's been fine so far, knock on wood. But not only did I have these 2 drainage tubes, but I also have a catheter. Now they said I'll probably only have to wear this like 1 more week, but dude, I'm carrying around 3 bags. Not to mention, I got this freaking walker, which is, it's kind of cool looking. I ain't gonna lie. It's kind of cool looking. Look at that. It's kind of cool looking. And so, like, now they got me set up with some in-home support care crap. I told them, I was like, I need a wheelchair because if I go somewhere, I can't do a whole lot of walking. I can't even stand up for very long because I feel lightheaded when I try to do any walking. And that's another motherfucking thing. This bitch gonna fucking tell the bitch that gave me the fucking laxative shit. Gonna be like, you need to get up and you need to keep moving. You need to keep walking. No, you need to fuck off. That's what you need to do. You need to fuck off. I'm sorry to be so blunt. But you don't know somebody's fucking state of, you know what I'm saying? State of being. How the fuck you a nurse. You come in here and shit. There's nothing absolutely wrong with you, but you just fucking crazy as hell and shit. And you come in here telling folks what the fuck they need to do. Now, we all understand that once you have surgery and shit, you need to, you need to get back in the game. We understand that. But when somebody fucks you up, the game kind of changes a little bit. You know what I'm saying? That's pissed me off. Then my ex, he pissed me off too. Come on. You just need to get up and you need to start walking. Walking wasn't my problem. Seriously, it wasn't. Like, I could do it. Walking wasn't an issue for me. Feeling lightheaded and all that stuff, that was another thing. Now, why I feel lightheaded when I walk, I have no fucking idea. Even now, I'm out and I'm trying to be as mobile as possible. But me standing up too long, I feel lightheaded, and I have to sit down, because I literally feel like if I stand up too much longer, that I'll pass out or something. So you can't push somebody who can't, like I said, you don't know their state of being. You can't do that. So these people so fucking insensitive when it comes to folks' health. It just really aggravates the shit out of me, But I understand folks want to be motivating, but sometimes they can get a little fucking carried away, So that's basically where I'm at right now. My doctor fucked up on my hysterectomy, and now I'm left with drainage bags, a walker, and I'm probably going to be jacked up the majority of my life now. It was a surgery that I was trying to avoid and shit, and I'm telling everybody, I'm like, my worst nightmares came true, I don't know what I'm going to even do about my job because I'm only supposed to be off until next month, and I texted my manager and he was already like tripping and saying, well, hope the surgeries they're not going to be long term and basically interfere with work. Dude, I didn't anticipate this shit happening. So I don't know what the fuck the future holds for me for is my situation. You know what I mean? Can you be a little less insensitive right now? Like, I'm going to tell him all about his stuff when I go back to work. He don't know. Then later I'll see a message from him, and, attitude has changed. But I guess, the main manager probably been on his ass, and he probably like, fuck, okay, she gonna be gone longer. Now I gotta hear this shit, da-da-da. But don't take it out on me. You know what I mean? I don't want to be in a situation like this. I just got a new car. So I don't have any coverage or shit like Aflac and shit. I work for the government. Okay? So anything that we have to get our shit through government fucking resources, not like everybody else where, you know what I mean? It's fucking retarded, but that's just the reality. And I don't have no coverage. So, now I gotta figure shit out. I think I'll be okay, whatever. But it's just the fact that I'm so disappointed because this isn't what I expected. I expected to go in, have the shit done, come out okay, hopefully come out okay, and start healing, and then go back to work, you know? And that's not what's in the plan anymore, you know? This is not what's in the plan. Check out all this shit here. I was just really relieved to be discharged yesterday. But as relieved as I was, I would expect to be more excited than I was. Just like, no, I wasn't. I really wasn't. I don't know, I've just been numb to stuff here lately. I don't know what's wrong with me. So I didn't get out of there until about 5:30 or so. You know, the biggest thing that disappoints me about this is that, like I said, I went out to a different city because I figured I would get better quality care, and I basically did. You know, I could just stayed in my own, close to my own city, and may not possibly, possibly not been in the situation at all. You know, I don't know. Like I said, that's another video for another time, depending on my comfort level and stuff to talk about the other things behind that. But you know, the results may have just been the same. You know, I just got to go through the process and the motion, I guess. I guess I'm gonna wrap this video up. It's been almost 40 minutes or so. I'm here by myself. Like I said, I'm staying with family. So you're gonna see a dog. That's her right there. Hush, Charlotte. Say hi. And you're gonna see kids and probably the rest of my family and stuff. I think I'll be a little comfortable on this channel than I will my other channel. I do have another channel. I'll list it here if anybody's interested. It's more of a business channel. I do have a business that I probably shouldn't even wrap my mind around that right now because I don't feel like getting upset. You know, yeah, I probably shouldn't even get on that subject. But I do have a business, another channel or whatever. I'll list like my social medias and all of that stuff here. If you guys want to follow me or whatever. Keep up with my boring life. I'm not on here like everybody else and, you know, going out and stuff like that. I'm much older too. So you're not going to see all of that stuff on my channels. It's going to be me and my family and, you know, and dogs and me coming on every now and then, maybe talking about my job, which will be kind of low key because of who I work for. I don't want to get in trouble and shit. But I have, because of everything that's happened now, I am considering maybe resigning. You know, I don't like the environment there. I think I've grown past it because I'm on this different path, this more lightning path where, you know, I'm trying to keep my mind free of BS and manifest positive things and stuff. And that job isn't I'm just sitting here trying to figure out, should I just be blunt? Because I'm very good at that. But the things that go on in my job is just, I've had enough of it. You know, I've had enough of it. There's no growth potential there for me. This is another reason why I started my business. There's a backstory to that. I'll get to that again at another time when I'm comfortable, maybe after I resign. You know, the mindset of the people there. Folks don't know there's multiple relationships and things of that nature that go on there. And that shit is sickening to me too. I'm sick of seeing that fucking bullshit. You know, married people, you know, messing around with other people. Then they'll have their spouse on the same fucking shift, and then they messing with some motherfucker over here and all this kind of everybody all working together. I'm sick of that shit. I'm sick of it. That ain't me. That ain't who the fuck I am. I'm over it. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking like, you got somebody, stick with that person. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, my ex was with me throughout this progress, and you know, we're not married anymore. And a lot of things he do for me, he doesn't have to do. You know, he really doesn't. But I do appreciate the things that he do. And a lot of times when we're like through this process, people don't know that we're not married anymore. So we just kind of like do this fucking fake pretend shit, you know, because I don't want no issues. So people be like, oh, he was here all night. Oh, and he brought you this and all. He's a keeper. Oh, I was like, oh, you just don't know. You know, but I get what they're saying. I totally do, because it matters when someone is there for you when you're down. It matters when someone is there for you when you're sick, to take care of you, help take care of you. You help take care of them, whatever, vice versa. It matters to have someone to care about, rather not if you make it to one destination to the other. Those things matter. These people all out here, they all about getting the ass and shit. And I'm sorry to fucking be blunt. And they don't give a fuck about anything else. And I'm just tired. I'm tired of being in company of people like that. I'm tired of people with that type of fucking mindset. I'm just sick of it all. And that's one of my biggest reasons why I want to resign. Because there's a lot of that shit that goes on at my job. And you know what they say, if you know, you all about, you know, being positive and having, you know, cleansing energy and shit. You don't want to be around a bunch of, I'm trying to be on a straight, narrow path, and I'm constantly swimming in a cesspool. Okay? That's my thing. I'm in an environment that I'm constantly fighting to stay on the right path, to do the things that I want to do, to keep my shit on a good note. You know what I mean? I'm just tired of being around people like that. The constant lust and shit that goes on is driving me absolutely insane. Now I know y'all probably, some of y'all probably saying, well, you got a problem, because look, I don't have my fair share of the fucking up there too. I ain't even gonna sit here and lie. I don't fucked up too. But again, like I said, I'm on a different path now. So when I was basically no different from those people, you know what I'm saying? It didn't look like a problem. It wasn't a problem. I didn't see the bullshit. You know what I mean? I didn't see how bad it was. You know, I was doing my thing, and, you know, I wasn't noticing all the other little shit that was going on all around me. That's not good. That's not good energy to even have around you. And then with energy attaches to you. So that you may have somebody who's not like that. You know what I'm saying? That comes in, is not like that, and get caught up in that bullshit because they don't associate it with someone with that fucking bullshit ass energy. Now I can name a few people that's on some bullshit like that, and the energy, that type of energy is contagious. I'm gonna just say that it's contagious. You know what I'm saying? So you get one person who's not like that comes in, get around some motherfuckers this on some bullshit, and the next thing you know, that person is basically tainted. And now they're going around doing the same fucking bullshit that these people are doing. And let me add that if you're not on the same page with everybody else, you're gonna be an outcast. I don't give a fuck about being no outcast and shit. Honestly, I don't give a fuck about being no outcast. You know what I'm saying? And none of the motherfuckers up in there would dare challenge me. Not one. Not to my face. Okay? So, like I said, that's one of the reasons why I want to resign. I'm just sick of that type of energy. I want to be somewhere in a work environment, or, you know, just focus on my business where I can control that energy and the environment with that. You know what I mean? Positive people working, and it's not, I'm married, but I'm gonna hook up with you, and then I'm gonna hook up with you too, and oh, I'm gonna hook up with you too. No. There's a lot of that shit goes on in my job. And I'm just, like I said, I'm tired of it. But anyway, I'm not going to keep repeating myself about this shit. That place just aggravates me every time I think about it. And I shouldn't even be thinking about it right now. That's like the least thing that I should be worried about. I need to be trying to recover here. Focus on that. Try to stay positive. And yeah. Christmas is coming up. At least I'm here for that. I missed my granddaughter's birthday Sunday. I was very saddened that I missed her first birthday, because I was so anxious and excited about her first birthday. In fact, this is her room. And that's the little backdrop from her mom's baby shower that I planned for her. So she had a boss baby shower. So I'm staying with my son right now until I'm able to get back in the game again, whenever that'll be. Hopefully soon. It sounds like the fan is on. Maybe I'll come back a little later today, depending on how I feel. Thanks for watching. Bye.